Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to take a look at the brand new Transformers Studio Series number 115 Deluxe Class Double Punch. And this figure, despite being a remold or the exact same mold as the Scorponok figure released a year ago, I feel like this figure still holds up and it's a really nice figure to add to your collection. Now this figure is a more accurate version of Scorponok that we did see in Rise of the Beast, so if you really want to create a more accurate shelf, I recommend getting this guy. But overall, in this video we're going to be taking a look at this figure and why you should buy them, and honestly, this figure is really cool. So without further ado, let's get started with the figure. Now this figure, despite being the same mold as Scorponok, the only difference here is probably the paint. The paint actually does a lot more than you think. It actually makes this figure look so much better. I really do like the red and gray we do get for this figure instead of the purple. The purple was to be a Beast Wars nod, like to show memory for Beast Wars, and this is accurate to how he looked like in the film. In the film, obviously, we did not see the robot mode, but this really closely matches how it did resemble in the concept art, but honestly, it looks really cool. But mostly what's accurate is the Scorpion mode, which we'll touch base on later, but just taking a look at the robot mode, how they've done it, I feel like they've done a marvelous job. We get that gold, we get that maroonish reddish color, we get that grayish splattered around the chest. The head sculpt looks amazing. It's the same, but it looks really cool. The red right here and the thighs look amazing, and the red paint splattered around the shins and on the feet look really nice. Turning our attention toward the backside, I really do like how it looks like. It looks very monstrous. It looks very lovely. I really do like how it looks like, and we can even see the Predacon insignia mostly visible in his Scorpion mode. But overall, other than that, it looks really cool. His shoulders are painted in silver, mostly due to the Scorpion claws, which we'll touch base on later. But overall, yeah, a really cool figure. Now he does have his tail whip piece that was originally with the other Scorponok figure, and it's honestly the same. The only difference, similar to the Scorponok figure, is where purple was is now maroonish, brownish red, and it looks really nice. And I do like the tip is covered in silver paint. It looks really lovely. And until now, I barely knew you could separate both halves like this, and you could just reattach them just as easy like that. I found that out when I was unboxing this guy on accident, but overall, yeah, pretty cool. Now, when you take a look at the original Scorponok looks really cool. It looks nice. But then when we pair him alongside the new Double Punch, which was actually the real Scorpion figure or Scorponok character that was in the Rise of the Beast film, we can clearly see which one is actually accurate, which one is not. But overall, yeah, I just wanted to show you this is a little quick comparison. The only difference is probably the shading is different. The gray is obviously different, whereas Scorponok here was a more of like a bluish grayish maroon. This is more of a normal gray, kind of generic, and this one has maroon red on him, and then this one has just purple, straight up purple on him. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the figures. Everything else is practically the same. And since we're on the topic of remolds, I did want to bring out the Legacy or Kingdom, however you would like to call it, Sandstorm compared next to Double Punch. And here I like bringing these two in, as these are like the secondary Scorpion characters, and meanwhile Scorponok is the primary one. And yeah, I think this looks pretty cool. If it was a cartoon to live action translation, I think it would be looking really nice. And for another comparison, here's how Double Punch scales next to Battle Trap. And similar to Scorponok, it's around the same size. So if you haven't seen my Scorponok review, or I haven't done one for Battle Trap just yet, this is how the Scorponok mold scales to Battle Trap. And this is how Double Punch scales next to his Wavemate Hatchet. And we could clearly see how big Hatchet is to Scorponok. I did buy these both together, as you already know. And if you have these two, this is about how they scale. Here's how he scales next to Bumblebee. And Bumblebee to Double Punch / Scorponok, I feel like the scale would be accurate if they did have a showdown. And here's how he scales next to Wheeljack and RC. And RC, being a core class, is enormously smaller than Double Punch. I feel like RC should slightly be bigger, but at the same time, the scale is kind of accurate. Now, when I say accurate, I mean accurate to a deluxe class scale. Obviously, this guy didn't transform, but that's what I'm just saying. For the box of Double Punch does have the same CGI that we did get for Scorponok, except for here he has 115, same CGI, but in a reddish color. Right here we have the same product shots that we did get for Scorponok, except it's modified to the color. And his iconic movie scene is the Volcano Showdown. Double Punch faces against his enemies, the Maximals. So in the film he fights Optimus Primal, yada. And right here we get the same image right here, but with a black background. Looks really nice. Transformers Rise of the Beast. Here is some words, and if you do want to scan that what's it called, barcode right there to see how much he costs at Target. At Target, supposedly in the system, it said $35 for some reason, and this thing is a deluxe class, which is $25, which is confusing. But they were basing that price off of, I think, TF Source's price. Now, Double Punch does have a nice amount of articulation. For starters, on his arm, he does have a ball joint, could go up and down, do a full 360, move all around that you want. He has a 360 range of motion at the bicep with a mushroom joint, so he can move that 360. He has a past 90-degree bend at the elbow, mostly due to transformation like this, and he does have 360 range of motion at the wrist. He has waist swivel, which is very nice. He also has leg rotation. He has a ball joint at the leg, could do the splits, could go back to that far, front to this far, and he could bend around 90 degrees, and he does have a ball joint at the foot, so he does have a lot of range of motion. He has a hinge joint at the neck, mostly due to transformation, and a ball joint at the head. So overall, this figure has a lot of articulation, and he looks very, very menacing. So starting off the transformation, it is very, very simple. So sit back, relax, grab either Scorponok or Double Punch, and follow along. And there you have Double Punch fully transformed into his awesome Scorpion mode. And the Scorpion mode is very similar to Scorponok, if not, it's exactly the same like I said earlier. The only difference is the paint. But I do like how this Scorpion mode looks like with Double Punch more than Scorponok, because it's more accurate to the film and it just adds more vibrant colors like red. I'm pretty sure next year we'll probably get a green or blue variant, knowing that this is gonna make easy money for Hasbro. But this looks very, very nice. I really do like the head sculpture here. As you can see, it looks very lovely, as well as the claws have some silver, some maroon, and some even gunmetal gray inside. It looks really, really lovely. We get some splashes of red and gray paint all around. The Predacon insignia, more visible in Scorpion mode than in robot form, looks very nice. I do like how the legs become the back part of the legs in Scorpion mode. I just don't like how it just sits there. At times it looks okay, but and other times it doesn't. But yeah, just for 360, this is how he looks like. The only little problem that I do have with this figure is probably attaching these tabs inside these little slots, as honestly they're kind of hard to do at times and it doesn't want to align. And even then, when you try to stand it up with those inside the tabs, it doesn't want to stand. The arms itself, the legs look alright, and the arms look very, very lovely. Comparing to see how he looks like with his original counterpart being Scorponok, I feel like they look exactly the same and they look really cool. As far as which one you like better is up to personal preference. I personally like the red one more, it just looks better. Purple one looks alright, but I just really, really like this one. It's more movie accurate. And here's how he scales next to Airazor, and Airazor being one of the Maximals that killed one of the Double Punch clones in the film. I feel like this scale is accurate. If you wanted to put Airazor on top, perching down on him, it looks very, very accurate. Here's how Cheetor looks like with Double Punch, and this looks very, very accurate and it looks very, very good. The scale between Cheetor and Double Punch look very nice. The same could also be said with Rhinox here, and Rhinox, if you do remember the film, he does ram through a couple of these clones and then just rummages them around, and it looks really, really cool. I really do like the scale, it looks accurate. And if you want to buy more of these at Target or Walmart, you can, and create your whole little Scorponok army if you wanted to. And finally, this is how he scales next to Optimus Primal. So some final thoughts for the Transformers Studio Series 115 Deluxe Class Double Punch. Honestly, this is a really nice figure to have in your collection. It's very simple to transform, very easy to play with, very fun. The articulation is alright, the paint is very nice, and I do like that this thing looks accurate to how Double Punch or Scorponok, however you'd like to call him, did appear in his Scorpion mode in the film. However, we never saw the Robo mode, so this is all conceptualized artwork here. But I really do like what Hasbro has done. I really do like this concept series that they did, and I feel like they should keep doing it. But overall, this looks very amazing. Tell me what you thought about this figure. Will you pick him up? Do you already have him? In the comment section down below. And in the words of Optimus Prime,
transform and roll on!